I'll hook them, you clean them and fry them.
Awesome. Welcome, 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 everybody. We are just jumping on board here. I am on board with, I've lost the leader, but I am still with the group here. Not like the last race. We got kicked out of the pen right as we were trying to get in. She is doing her introductions here as we roll out. We're headed towards the volcano. Should be all live. I'm going to got this all out to our partners. Yep, looking good so far. Welcome. Thanks for joining us in. Ladies, thanks for joining us for the race. Like we just have over 20 riders. I am pulling up Swift Power as we speak. Making sure you are staying with the beacon is very, very important. My name's Jason Flores, and again, thanks for joining us. We're at the friendliest ride here on the island today. This is the ODivaZ Ladies Race. Smiles and applause every lap as we go around. All right, let's see if we can get this shared out as the ride-ons just drop and drop and drop. I did tell you this was the friendliest race on the island, and this is why. You will get your 100 ride-on achievement here if it is the last thing that we do. There we go.
It might be a little white lie, but close.
There we go. Like this group is staying together quite nicely here as we roll around just out of the starting pen. It is not as busy as I thought it would be, but I think the pulling of the riders or the removal of the other riders that are not in this group is actually working today. Great to see. Right, you did hear that voice. That is our commissioner today. That is Pat, the Night Train O'Neill. He'll be rolling with us today, throwing in a couple snarky comments, I'm sure, as we head around the volcano circuit. We're doing 5 laps. He's going to make sure that I can count properly. I am an optometrist, and we only can count to 2.
What? Because you have 2 eyes?
No, because we go 1 or 2. Better 1
Show
or
me again.
2. No. I'm not.
Show me again.
No. You only get to see it twice. Your insurance doesn't cover. Good morning, Beth. Thanks for joining in. Log into that Discord channel. We'll love to hear your lovely voice here at 5 o'clock in the morning here on the West Coast. So wherever you're at, come join us. We will be starting this race at the Volcano lap counter. So we need to make sure we get everyone together. We've got a couple riders off the front. We need to make sure that they come back. We've got Carrie Conabear, Kirsty Hoel, June Upshaw from the Vixen team. She knows that she needs to be up. Miss Liz, Crazy Canuck Team Fearless. She's just 5 seconds in front.
I'm trying.
Bring that group back, girl. Bring that group back. All right, this is all shared out. Looks like we've got it. We've got some viewers here. We are on a roll, everybody.
There we go. Okay.
There we go. All right, here we go. We are neutral. We should have everybody just about where we need them to be. Jumping down in the pen, we've got our last 3 riders. C. Scott from Z-Sun, our stem in our ride, I believe. So they are all women riders there. Yep, we do. This group is looking good here. Good morning, Ian. Good morning. Ian is on the cat and mouse race that's just starting here in a couple minutes. Beth is like she is going couch surfing for us, probably guessing a little bit. That is team director for her Vixen team. They are headed up and into the hill and volcano in just a moment here. Little Beatles going on here too. Like it.
Right. We also have a mix of U2, Pink Floyd, and Top Gun.
Oh, nice. We did hear Top Gun before we got out to start. These ladies getting pumped up in the pen. We're going up this final hill, which will be a very significant hill. So we are going to do 5 laps of a relatively flat course, but it does have some punchy climbs. that will keep us entertained. And the reason why is because as we go up, the watts start going up through the roof and riders get dropped off the back. So they need to make sure that they stay with the leader here for the first lap as we get to the lap counter, and then we will start the fireworks. At that point, we will see both A, B, and C riders a chance to kind of hold on to the front wheels and see what they can put out. If you are a smart rider, if you are in the mix, you can definitely put yourself way up in the front and hold on to those wheels. Remember, power-ups are allowed. Our ride leader is reminding us, so make sure that if you've got one, you use them. And as you come through that Volcano lap counter, you will also get another. So just make sure that you have got that. Kirsten Green, wow, blast from the past. Really miss you here at this race. Thanks for the like, really enjoying that. Martin Walker goes, Top Gun. Did someone say Top Gun? Yes, Martin, that's right. We're rocking out to Top Gun here in the Discord channel. If you want to join in, jump on in. We'd love to hear you, Martin, too. Martin's got some great stories. He's coming up on Chat and Chill in just a couple weeks. I believe it's March 5th or March 6th on a Monday, and that's what TF Freeze said as well. You're going to hear about his adventure at his 24-hour race. Yes, I said that right. 24 hours of riding on a bike. No, it wasn't on Zwift. It was on a real race. So it definitely was exciting. We're going to hear about that story. Beth York says good luck to all, especially the Vixens. And of course, thanks to ODivaZ for all that we do. And we thank the Vixens for coming out and supporting this team. We do have representation from different teams today. I'm going to see if I can up the live view here. We've got lots of ODivaZ riders. Megan Herzog, Stephanie Hallmichael. We've got Kirsten Catronis and Taya Friedstead here from Team ODivaZ. We've got Liz Crazy Canuck waking up early for us, representing Team Fearless. And we've got Carrie Conabear, June Upshaw, and Jennifer Kruger here representing Team Vixen. We've got a couple riders, C. Scott from Z-Sun and Natalie Wheatley from GGCC. If we can roll down towards the back here, we've got a couple unaffiliated riders. We've got about 8 there. Rowena Stam, Estelle Saline, Helen Cartwright, Angie Goslick, Rita Marquez, Catherine Orval, and Sam Toon. Thanks for joining in, everybody. This is the ODivaZ Ladies Race. I'm Jason Flores. You've got Pat O'Neill. He's on the Commissionar service. We will be counting the laps for us. We're doing 5 laps of the Volcano circuit. Nice. Martin's talking about if he just got that LP on vinyl last week. I think he's talking about Top Gun and or the Beatles. So both good tracks to have to put on spin on that vinyl when you want to sit back, relax, and have some 72% dark cocoa chocolate, right, Martin? All right, looks like we've got a good representation of teams, Jen Kruger says. She's here on the Discord channel. And if you would like to listen to the live stream, we are on here at discord.teamodz.com. And you can hear the live screaming, shouting, praising, clapping, and the thumbs up ride-ons coming through the airwaves as we get going on our race. We've got 2, 3, 4 turns to go, and our commissioner, Pat the Night Train O'Neill, will let us go, and the ladies will hit pedals to the metal and really put it down and see if we can get that going. Making sure we've got everything happening on our end. Looks like things are working well. I want to remind everybody that you can head over to zwippower.com. This is what I'm watching on my end, making sure that you can see where your favorite rider is. You can see team representation here in the middle. Very, very exciting time. And looking at the map here, not quite lined up today, so we won't use that screen. Let's head back to the main race. All right, I'm back on board with Taya Friedstead. We are 2 turns away to make this party start. Turn down. Go. Roll back, roll back, roll back. We've got 2 riders off the front. I think that's Rowena Stam and M. Mathers. But Melissa Mathers from the UK. We need to roll this back. Keep everybody here only about 5 seconds. If not, we need to get within a second or so. We are almost there. She's almost there. They're almost there. They're trying to roll it back in. They've got wattages down. They're making the effort. They're under 1 watt per kilogram, making sure that they roll back. We should be able to get them together, and it looks like we are. This group is together. I'm going to roll off the front, make sure we've got a good view as they get started here, and we will get the start. We're going to do 1 turn to the right, And there we go. We are all together. Looks like Team ODivaZ is taking that position up in the front, but I'm sure it is going to go through the roof here in just a moment. All right, thanks for joining in. This is the ODivaZ Ladies Race. My name is Jason Flores. Pat O'Neill, here's the commissioner. I'm going to hand it off to him. We're going to get this race started.
Go, 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 ladies. Go, go, go. Good luck today.
There we go. We've got lights on, and here we go. Boom, 9.4 watts from C. Scott right out the gate. Let me make sure this is an eligible rider. And it is. First time to our group, right off the front, really big bump, 2 seconds off the front. Jen Kruger putting in chase from the Vixen team. Taya Friedstead right there with her. And we've got Jersti Hoel from Vision not wanting to move this team, not wanting to miss this team move. She is in the mix there, really jumping on. Megan Herzog there, back in action. She was out of action, if you remember, 2 weeks ago. She was sick. She put as much vitamin C, zinc, and echinacea in herself so that she could get back on the bike and training. And from what I heard, oh yes, garlic too. Crazy Canuck says making sure you stuff the garlic in your ears and in your nose. From what I understand, is a good place to put that. Down the hatch, she says. All right, this front group is really grouping up. It's about 10 riders here, and this is what we normally see. A big group of riders jumping in. Martin Walker says, have fun out there, and don't forget the haggis. It adds free watts. I've never had it. I don't know if I'll ever have it. I think Martin will have to bring it to my house. I don't even know where I can get that here near me. So this group is super, super tight. Wheels overlapping, elbows rubbing, shoulders touching. This is as close as you can get. If you are not part of this group, I'm talking to you, Liz. You need to pedal up. You're 2 seconds away. Get in this draft. All right, so this group is here. We've got representation from all the big teams. Team ODivaZ, Team Fearless, Vision, and I think the Vixen riders are just off here, and I'm sure they can be able to make this up. They've got 2 riders together. Let me see. Yes, Carrie Conabear is here. That means if, in fact, let me scroll back. Yep, looks like everyone is all together. We're looking at 12 riders here in the front. See if I can get some first names here. There are some new riders to our group, which is really nice to see. Just joined us here. We are doing 5 laps. 5 laps of the Volcano circuit here. We are just entering back on the backside, finishing our first half lap here. All right, let's see who's in this front group. We've got Jersti Hoel, Stephanie Hallmichael, Scott. See if I can find a first name for that. Still Steve Scott online as well. We've got Upshaw, I believe, here. Liz just barely making that little bit of a 3-second gap. I think she can close that still. She's plenty close. There is a couple bumps here that should be able to get her where she needs to go. But this front group is a good size, and it should settle down here in just a moment. They're making this last bump in the hill. If anyone trying to close this gap is trying to do it, it's going to be here. They should be a little bit of pressure here as everybody groups up. And there you go. You see it. They're dropping into the 2.0s just at around 3, allowing the riders to group back up. Right. Like 10 riders here in the front group. I'm going to see if I could roll back as soon as we get back into the Volcano. I should be able to go back a couple riders, but this front group is made up of 9 riders, it looks like. Taya Friedstead, Liz is right there, Crazy Canuck, got Stephanie Hallmichael, Jersti Hoel, Natalie Wheat, Megan Herzog, Melissa Mather, Scott, not going to try the last name, and a couple other riders here trying to close this gap, trying to make this happen here. Looks like we've got a couple ups here on Zwift Power, not quite updating, so I'm going to use the numbers that we have here in the game, but this group is quite large. And so the strategy goes here for both A and B riders. As you notice, there are some riders like our Vision rider, who is a B rider, who will probably be, if in fact doing the smart thing, holding on to those wheels. And the reason why is that she's going to be going for that B ride win. Try to kind of parse this out. We've got Natalie Wheatley there, a C rider, very, very smart move, putting herself in the position in this front group. And what that allows her to do, to really use the force of the group to push herself, propel herself into the front of the C race. So there are a couple races going on here. So there are both category races, A, B, and C, all dependent on the amount of watts per kilogram or the power that the riders put out. But also there's an all-out race, first line to the first person, first lady through the line, definitely the winner here. So as we go around and we're going to complete our first lap, C. Scott is on the front here, followed by Carrie Conaberry, Kirsty Hoel, Natalie Wheatley. Really just the single riders, non-affiliated riders really pushing the pace here. And those team riders, I think, taking a smart move, kind of just holding on and working together, trying to keep this kind of composed. We are seeing a little bit of higher pace than we normally see during this part of the race, but I think it's just because some of the ladies haven't ridden or haven't raced against some of the non-affiliated riders, and I think that's a good thing. I think it really puts some attitude or some, a real difference into the group that allows them to really find out. Whoa, big move, big move. I think looks like Taya Friese comes by the whole group from the back. Huge draft and kind of comes out front. Pace nice and steady at 3.9, 4.0. Really pushing the ladies as we come through our 4 laps to go here. We finished our first lap. Looks like John Moore just joined in. Thanks and good morning, John. I think you are in Missouri today. Thank you for the hotel lobby doing your continental breakfast, or if not, on the road.
Escape from Ohio.
Escape from Ohio. Yeah, where in the world is the honey badger is what we're asking today. But thanks for joining in, John. We look to hearing some comments today. So it looks like this ladies race is underway, and we've got a really great group here. Stephanie Hallmichael here is definitely towards the front. Rowena Stam in that group from the beginning. Looks like she was, if I remember, was a little bit off the front. I think we were in, so that is a eligible rider for today. Megan Herzog, Stephanie Hallmichael, the duo there as well. C. Scott still in the mix. Elle Heller. What rider? I haven't registered today. That's Lazard Heller rider. Really great positioning today. I feel like all the riders, as this a larger group than we. It gets blown to about 6 or less up here in the front, but we still have 4 laps to go. Good morning, Quan Nguyen. Like he's getting his maintenance miles in this 5:20. That means the cat and mouse is on. He's 5 minutes late, and the race is started. We are here in the ODivaZ ladies race. We've got 9 or 10 riders here in this front group. Lots of Tron bikes, and if it's the first time you're seeing these bikes on Zwift or first time watching this broadcast, again, thanks for joining in. But those Tron bikes are definitely an accomplishment. How long did it take you to get yours, Pat?
Well, it's hard to say. So my Tron dates back to before the mountain. So not to sound like an old codger.
That's right.
Back in my day,
I didn't have a hill to get my Tron bike.
Back in my day, we did hill repeats between the wall and the S's.
That's right. So there was no epic climb back then. A lot of us commentators are beta users. We have very unique bikes as well as stories, and we can a lot of times sound like crotchety riders telling you about what used to be and how it. But yeah, if you can imagine doing these races, meeting up at start lines and trying to communicate via text message only. That's where it was at. But yeah, getting back to the Tron bike, yeah, before the Epic KOM that a lot of riders see today, it was not there. So the altitude that people get that climbing, essentially that you need to get 5 times up Everest, was not available. So, but that's what these ladies have done, and colors flying here. You've got blue, you've got orange, every color you can think of. It's totally customizable. And the train says go. We are in our 4th lap. We've got 4 laps to go. This group is tight. The pace is high. We're looking at about 3.5 plus on this pace. No really big moves by single riders. I think everyone's trying to get a feel for the kind of efforts that people are putting in. And if you are joining in with us, I am on board with C. Scott. On the top left here, you're looking at a number, a 3-digit number. It is 250, 256, 244. Those are wattages she is actually putting out via a power meter connected to her bicycle, and the bottom numbers right below there, her or her beats. That is actually her heart through her heart rate monitor and getting transmitted. We are on the outside portion of the island, and yes, it's raining. It does rain on the island. Doesn't affect how we ride, but it affects how you feel. So sad faces. But you know what? These ladies are tough, hard as nails. Nobody's putting on raincoats. We are gonna go with the kits we wore, and we are just gonna push on. So we are on our 4th lap to go. We've got a really strong group. I'm gonna see the next group back looks like just Jennifer Beatty at 23 seconds behind that, and then Penalosa and Hella Penalosa. A little bit of a marathon background from what I was looking up last night, but probably a triathlon, a triathlete in the making. You know, you've got 2. From what I hear, anybody can swim, so that means anyone could be a triathlete, right? All right, so it looks like we've got the likes of Jen Kruger here taking up the back of this front group. This chase group is very, very strong. We're looking at 11, 12, almost 13 riders here. I'm gonna see if I could drop back just to the next group here. Pacing, we've got Jay Beatty, C. Penalosa, 40 seconds back. Liz Crazy Canuck there. Kirsten Contreras, 118 back from there. Wondering if there may have been some sort of power drop. Typically not seeing her in the second group. Usually see her up in the front, pushing the pace. From what I understand, I know she did get a new trainer, not a coach, but actually the one connected to her bike. Her trainer is doing just fine. So back up to the front group here. We're with the 12 riders, and then the group that we were just with before was about 20 seconds back.
So it's interesting with this race is that you see a lot of the unaffiliated riders out front a lot, which is the case a lot of times when we race CVR.
It is.
I have to wonder, will they have that durability to stay up there, or will they burn out early?
Yeah, and the race that Pat is mentioning, CVR, is the Cyclogen. What is that? What is CVR racing? Virtual racing series, which is a really hot race right now. And a lot of times those races can go out hot and heavy. The thing about those races is a lot of times riders can get go out too hot and end up burning out, not having the legs to finish the race. Our races do end up being a little bit on the longer side, especially for the women's race. One thing that we do make sure is that we are eyes on, focused on the front of this ladies' race for sure. A quick jump over to Zwift Power, see what's going on over there. We've got Carrie Conabear, Stephanie Hall, Michael C. Scott, Natalie Wheatley, Kirsty Powell, Thea Friedstead, Megan Herzog, Gwenna Stam, and like just behind them, Erica Leishaishan here in the front. That's 10 riders here in the front group. Solid pace. Jump back into the main race. Seeing if we're going to get some separation. I'm sure the teams are looking around trying to figure out if, in fact, there's something that could be done, or if they are just going to hold us in for a full lead out. We have seen that before. We have seen some team tactics, but really, it looks like with Jen Kruger, the likes of Carrie Conabear and Jen Kruger, that's the 1-2 punch that Vixen's got in the play. And then we would have Stephanie Hall, Michael, would have Herzog, have Taya Friedstead as the 1-2-3 from Team ODivaZ. We typically see this run out to be an OD Vixen shootout at the end, but you know what? We did see Scott put a whole lot of wattage down at the very beginning, and a lot of these unaffiliated riders in the mix trying to show the team riders that, hey, just because we don't have our team here doesn't mean we can't ride hard, because they are definitely.
So far, Megan and Tay have done a fairly good job letting the unaffiliated riders get out ahead and then closing the gap. So we'll see if that continues, or if somebody goes all in on one of these climbs to try to get an advantage.
Yeah, I think that's the question here. As the riders, as a team, virtually, as you see guys come by, do you want to chase those? And I think the big thing is being able to communicate with those riders and being able to communicate with your team. And as I look down into the Discord channel. They actually are sitting in the same channel, so I'm sure that they're chatting. And I know that team, and I'm sure the Vixen team does have communication as well, from what I understand. I know Team Fearless does it during their circuit races. So these riders definitely allow for communication. I'm just here for the race. Kirsten Catrona says, I'm just here for the snacks after. Yes, we do serve juice boxes and cookies after each race. So those are available for you. They are gluten-free, sugar-free, no high fructose corn syrup. So, and if you close your eyes, there's no calories. So really, they're all good for you. So as we were saying, those riders going off the front, I think it's a kind of a game with the teams, making sure that they communicate if they're going to chase something down, not letting something get away. Can easily get caught in trying to chase things down over and over and over again. So letting other riders take that on, or other, I think, is so. Communication definitely plays a role as much as it does in life. We're making those couple laps here on the outside of the Volcano. We're dropping down. Just going to take that little lap on the outside, and we all bump.
Go ahead, Crazy Canuck.
What about gels? You serve those too?
Yeah, we put them on top of the cookies.
Oh, yummy.
Oh man.
Do you have s'mores?
S'mores. We could light up the s'mores on the burned carbon wheels and warm up the chocolate.
No, I'll warm it up on my burning rubber.
You could probably put it on the kicker drum after you're done and melt it.
There you go. She has a snap.
It gets pretty hot too, though.
It does. It does. All right. Well, that was Liz Crazy Canuck talking about wanting to make s'mores with our gluten-free cookies after the race, and we're trying to come up with a heat source. So we're thinking about the kicker drums, everyone putting their heat together, and be able to melt the chocolate for our s'mores. Let's jump in back in.
Melted in the lava too.
In the lava. Yeah, my son gets a kick. My 5-year-old son gets a kick out of the lava, and how you can ride through the lava, contrary to the books the science books in 5-year-old kindergarten class. So he's very amazed by Zwift.
Yeah, sure. 5-year-old is very cute. I've seen him.
Yeah, he's done a little streaming of himself. He does get a little bit more attention than Justin does, even though they are almost the same size while they're on the. All right, looks like
sneak on there.
He does.
You know how to set it up too?
Yeah, he's all on there. He's all in it.
A smarter 5-year-old than me.
You know, there's that the Zwift game is easy enough to play, enough by toddlers. That does say something about all of us.
Yeah, but the camera, man.
All right, looking pretty tame here, Pat. I'm here at the front. I'm not seeing any big moves.
We'll start to see if there's some fireworks are going to happen.
We got 2 laps to go. It looks like the fire is going to come down to this final lap. Looking over at Zwift Power, it's showing this group is still at 10 riders. Correct that. 9 riders here in the front. Kajersti Hole, Harry Conabear, C. Scott, Taya Friested, Natalie Wheatley, Megan Herzog, Rowena Stam, Stephanie Michael, and Jen Kruger. All names that we know. This is going to get weeded down to those riders that we're used to seeing here in the front, and we're going to see teamwork here as it comes to the end. The Vixen riders and the team riders, I'm sure, have their eyes open, looking really sharp, trying to make sure that they are conserving energy, make sure that they have what it takes to finish this up. So there are a couple moves that can be made kind of here. What are the 2 approaches that we as a team kind of take on the Volcano lap here, Pat? What do we usually kind of play out in the final lap?
Well, usually it's all decided at the hill, but if you're a heavier rider that knows you're going to get caught, sometimes you want to make that breakaway about a minute before, 2 minutes before, and get a flying 1K start. That's
right. That means it's going to happen on the outside of this lap before the hill, so that you don't have that chance for those lighter riders to kind of come flying by you. You're right. So if you are, in fact, a high weight rider, this is the place that you're going to want to move. You're going to want to go just about 1K or more out down that pedal and put a lead out. And a really good lead out, 2 or 3 rider lead out, will also start around 1,500 to 1,200 meters out and will allow riders to have a running start at that hill, between 1 to 2 riders going up that hill and a final rider for the final 500 or 200 meters, if we've got this all lined up right. So we'll see what factor that the unaffiliated riders have, but so far so good. The pace is staying very, very high. Looking at 3.5 watt averages here with our riders. Pace looking good. I'm going to kind of jump around, see if we can find out, get a little bit of stats of how these other riders were. I will not broadcast and let them know what it is, but I will let our viewers kind of get a view. Looks like we got a Volcano. Yep, that's a Volcano jersey there by Natalie Wheat. Okay. Got some fast laps for riders here. Otherwise on the course, got some on board with Carrie Conabear here. She's here in the front, the victory rider. At her stats here, up in the top left, that is her. Still a place. Right. Kirsten yells out from the back. Last is still a place. We say yes. David Bussey says yes, and he is the standing Lantern Rouge. Here on Team ODivaZ, so he definitely knows what that.
Better than dead fucking dead.
Hey, easy.
Whoa.
Whoa. Yeah.
DFL.
Yes. It's definitely better than not able to finish or not finishing at all. But we have our commission, our sweep, that everybody finished the course today, and that we also get results. So we are up front. We've got 2 riders from VIX. We've got 3 riders from ODivaZ. Got 3 unaffiliated riders here in the mix. Really good. I'm going to see if I can roll back. This is looking steady. In our 2 lap to go, and I will jump back for our final lap. Jump back with Jay Beatty in the no woman's land, still trying to catch one way or the other. She's got a rider 1 minute up, 1 minute back. For riders like this, I typically recommend that they drop back, find a rider to be ride with, and kind of work with them. If I jump back to where our crazy Canuck is making s'mores here with Kirsten. They are rolling strong with the orange Zwift headband and the orange hat here, doing really well, kind of holding each other back, making sure that there is enough for everyone at the end of the race.
That's right, we're the s'more bakers.
There you go.
Yeah, it's tough. When you're in no man's land, it gets very tough in the middle of the race because you have to, it really depends on the course, whether you want to hang in there and hope for an elevator, or just drop back and resign yourself to, yeah, this is the group I got to be with today.
No, I think so. It's really tough, and
I just
more.
wasn't paying attention.
It happens, and more as athletes kind of come through the endurance lab and kind of just ask for general advice. Because of the nature of it, it is so hard to close gaps. And so dropping back and getting a race out of whoever's left and around you, kind of them up, I think definitely is a better situation rather than doing solo time trial effort and just kind of putting metal. Like I like to say, when I'm outdoors, I can ride by myself at 3 in the morning. I like to ride with people when I'm outdoors, so there's no reason for me to kind of go off the front or the back. Those riders looking to do that in real life. So we'll see how that all plays out in a couple of days, right, Pat?
Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah. That was one thing that we did. We're referring to a recent ride that I hosted here for Team ODivaZ. It was a nice little training ride, chance for riders, Zwift riders from 6 different zip. That's right, 6 different zip codes that got together that had never met other than on Zwift. That got together to ride. Luckily, we had 4 ride leaders that were there. We actually were able to keep the group very, very nicely together, allowing the riders to have a great experience and keeping the group together. It was very, very nice in real life. You know what that bell means? That means it is our final lap. This is the bell lap, the bell lap, the bell lap. 1 lap to go, 1 lap to go, 1 lap to go. Looks like everyone is lined up. And you know what that means, Pat? That means that the pace is on and we're at 4.0. That's right. 5.4 on the front row. 5.4, 5.3. Steady. The Jersey Hole following her from These are unaffiliated riders really putting it in, looking like a 5, a 6, a 7-second gap. What are the teams going to do? Vision is right in the mix, 3 seconds back from her, and Team ODivaZ is in the chase. They can see her from here, but it's definitely got a gap. The group has got to work together.
I think they'll be able to close it.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about how this larger group, this 5 or 6 group, can close this large gap of 7 people. This draft, it worked really well for you in the game, Pat?
Yeah, I saw Stam take a flyer on the last hill while you're reminiscing about Mount Baldy, but there's still time here for the group to chase him down. They don't have to make the same watts per kilogram to catch her, but just the sheer number of riders is enough to use the blob to their advantage.
Absolutely. Yeah, once we get into about 3 or 4 riders, it definitely does take an effect and you can close gaps. As we see it here, we're looking at a 6-second gap to Kijersi Hole from Team Vision, and then another 5 seconds to Am up there. So they've got some work to do. That's both teams. That's Vixen and Team ODivaZ needing to put their rivalry aside and put it down into the pedals so that they can she's saying go Tia. She wants to close this gap now. It's getting too big too close for comfort.
It's good time to do it, right? You got the downhill.
Time is
she's a ride leader. Ride leaders are required to be able to type at threshold or above.
That's right.
She's racing.
Yeah, it is. And if there's any technical difficulties, you should be able to share out to at least 5 partners while live streaming and at threshold. That's part of our workouts.
Is that in your contract or something?
Oh no, just something we train for. We train at sweet spot and technical difficulty. All right, that gap is still growing. What have we got? 9 seconds to Kijersi Hole from Team Vision. Looks like our unaffiliated riders are really putting the pressure on. 5.7, 5.9 watts per kilogram. This group has got to work together if they're going to want to close the gap. What kind of paces does this blob need to do in order to catch someone doing about 4.5, Pat?
Well, it shouldn't take any more than 4, but it looks like if they're not getting organized enough, the gap's getting bigger. I see some under 4s right now. Now they heard me talking, they're all jacking up to 4 and 5. So
there you go.
Yeah, that's what it's going to take.
It's going to take around 4.0 in order to catch this gap. Rowena Stam has got 17 seconds off the front. I'm going to see if I can get some stats on Rowena there. Is from the Netherlands, has got a pretty decent history here. Typically races the WBR 4 flat race and a couple EBR Asia races.
I'm actually surprised at the amount of gaps she was able to get where she did.
Quite a bit. She has gotten a couple upgrades recently into the B category. Breakout moment being at a 3.8 watts per kilogram average. That was just at the beginning of this year. So really having a breakout year. Maximum average watts looking 8. Yeah, having a really great year this year. She's got to build it from last. Really only averaging about 3.4, 3.5 over the last year, but kind of building that up in February now. Looking pretty good. Let's see if I can roll back to the race. I am on board still with Megan Herzog here. I'm going to see if I can jump forward, and I'm going to look back from the Kijersi Hole. Go ahead.
Stam and Hole are still way off the front.
They are. I'm looking at. I'm on board with Hoa now. Stam is 15 seconds ahead of her. I'm looking back at the group. 7 seconds.
Just passed the last lap to go.
There you go. The S'mores team's got 1 lap to go. Make sure you drop back to the S'mores the boost after you finish your last lap if you want your s'more for today. It looks like this gap is starting to close. Looks like Hoa just drops truck here, trying to make sure that she's got what it takes to go up. We've only got a couple more turns. Looks like Rowena Stam may have this in the bag. That means the sprint is going to come out of Connebear, Ho Michael, we got Tia Friestead and Megan Herzog. Right, we're getting a leaking of a couple other riders, or we're starting to lap some of the riders from the other side. And I think that is the case. Looks like Kijersi Hole is dropping back for the final sprint here. This team is together. Looks like we've got Vixen and we've got Team ODivaZ grouping up, picking up that one last rider. Hoa, Rowena Stam, looking like she's going to take this. with 22 seconds off the front here. All right, here we go. We can see it from here. Everyone's dropping their power-ups. Everyone's lined up straight. We're looking at 4.1, 5.5. This lead out is nice and strong. I'm on board with Taya Friedstedt. She's coming around on the outside on the left. She's got one more rider to go right around Carrie Conabear. She gets up on the wheels. We're on top of the pedals. Looks like she's going to take it right through the, wow, right through the gate. Takes it right through, straight through finish, right past Carrie Conabear, just at the very, very last moment. You can really tell that the training has been working out and the trains approves of the effort. Let me make sure we can jump back. Got some crazy PRs happening with the group. Go ahead and jump on board with our s'mores wagon. I'm gonna be finishing up this lap as we kind of talk about how it all broke down. So Pat, could you give us a little bit of summary of kind of how the 5 laps went today?
Yeah, so we've seen this play out before a little bit, at least once or twice, where somebody actually jumps. Instead of waiting the last lap, it's usually a super light rider that jumps with 1 lap to go up the incline. And they attack it with so much force, they catch the other riders kind of just thinking they're going to wait to the end. And the actually was pretty successful today.
Yeah, I think that move was definitely almost 1 lap out, if I remember. Kind of putting...
Exactly.
Yeah, so putting that effort down really put the pressure on the other teams, and I feel like caught the 2 teams, Vixen and ODivaZ, out of surprise, looking at each other. And I think that's the right move to make as an unaffiliated rider. You really got to take the other group by surprise, and then they've got to kind of force themselves to work together. And I think the paces were just not high enough. They were able to bring the Vision rider back, Kajersi Howell, right at the end, and looks like Taya Friedstedt was able to put the hammer down. I think she does have a day off tomorrow, as she does have some traveling to do. But you know what? I'm afraid to ride next to her when I do see her on Thursday. So I'm hoping that she is as tired as she can be when we do meet up this week, so that I will not see the sprint that she put down on the Vixen and lead out by the team today. So great work today by all the riders, the ODivaZ, the Vixen riders, the Vision riders today as well. And everybody who's joining in, thanks for joining in today. And from the friendliest ride on the island, myself, Jason Flores, and Pat O'Neill, we want to say thanks for joining in. And we'll see you 2 weeks on the next episode of the ODivaZ. Have a good weekend, everybody. And Liz, don't forget the s'mores.
I'm finishing.
Yes, more party at Crazy Canucks.